Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you two talking about?
All right. Well, I remember doing a video. Me and Anthony did a video on Jontay Porter, Michael Porter's brother, older brother apparently, and where he had some suspicious games that flagged on FanDuel. FanDuel notified the NBA, and as a result, they did an investigation. And what they found is you are now banned for life, Jontay Porter, which means, yeah, something not right probably happened. Or maybe they could be, what's the word? Scapegoating this guy? That might be the idea that Man Down Sports is coming up with. But he's going to say something here. I'm going to let him go through some of this. I'm starting in the middle because this is a live stream. I'm kind of starting in the middle of him covering this story. But there's something towards the end when he starts playing a clip from Shaq where you're going to hear me start disagreeing. But it is what it is. I like Man Down Sports and him and his crew and shit, like their content. Like I enjoy it as a basketball fan. I enjoy it. But I think what we're about to hear later on in this segment, I'm going to have to harshly disagree. And what I'm going to say is going to make sense in comparison to what I guess he may conclude with. I don't know if he's concluding with it, but he's insinuating it. So, with all that said, let's let him talk about Jontay Porter and his whole little gambling story. Here we go. No one cares about Shohei Ohtani, by the way. No one cares about that guy. All right, here we go.
Or 7 points that game or 8 points, but I knew that he wasn't gonna play in that game or he wasn't gonna play long because his ankle was bummed up, and I go ahead and put the bet on there. And Jontay Porter gets pulled out of the game for his ankle. I win $1 million, right? So basically, what happened is that sports book.
Yeah, if you just have $80,000, yeah, do that. Yeah, hey, you win $1 million. Betting 80,000. That's the win of a lifetime right there. For someone,
yeah.
You
won $900,000, bro.
Unless this guy is filthy fucking rich, to where $80,000 means nothing, and he somehow knows who Jontay Porter is at the same time. I don't know, man. That just screams sussery. But here we go.
Looked and was like, because you know how Vegas is. Anything dealing with betting, sports betting, Vegas, they supposed to win. Vegas is the house is always supposed to win.
Yeah.
And if they don't win, it's just to set you up. We gonna give you a couple of wins just to set you up because we go win on the backside and take everything. So the game is rigged for them to win. So whenever you rig the game for you to win and you lose, you start looking into why. So they saying somebody won $1 million. Like, how the heck did how did this slip? So they started looking into it, and then they probably was like, something got to be wrong here. So they alerted the NBA and was like, can y'all look into this? And guess what? The NBA and Vegas are partners. In order for the NBA to make gambling and betting on the NBA legal, you have to be in partnership with Vegas. So if you got any doubt that the league is somewhat rigged, they're in bed with Vegas, and Vegas is 100% rigged. So the NBA is fishy. So the NBA did their due diligence. It was like, yeah, we'll look into it, and they got to appease their partners. Hey, look, man, we can't have people just taking y'all money, just because my players decide to give information to somebody that nobody else supposed to have about their injury report, which is crazy because every injury is supposed to be on the injury report anyway. Right. So I really need to go and look and see if whatever game or that March 20th game, if they came out with the injury report saying,
God, I tried to pause it, but couldn't.
No, what I'm saying it's a little more complex than the way he's describing it. As far as the injuries, there's a paper trail of similar things going on.
Yeah. Well, as he was talking, I was kind of a little bit. I was glancing at this a bit. You see right here, it's like, uh, in addition, from January through March 2024, while traveling with the Raptors or Raptors 905, I guess they're okay. They're G League affiliate. Porter placed at least 13 bets on NBA games using an associate's online betting account. Now that right there is automatic ban. You're automatically done.
Yeah, automatically bad. Yeah.
These bets ran out. It's going to get to the part. These bets range in size from $15 to $22,000 for a total of $54,000. $54,094. The total
That he
payout.
bet.
What's up?
That's how much he spent.
That's how much. Yeah. That's how much he
Yeah.
spent. The total payout from these bets was $76,059.
He made $20K.
Yeah, net winnings $21,965. None of the bets involved any game in which Porter played. Now this is the weird part because he just mentioned like injury reports. Sometimes I'm fan dueling, right? And then you look at the guy's name and his name says questionable next to it, whether it's NFL or NBA. Baseball, no one gives a fuck about. But NBA or NFL, you'll see like, oh, this guy's questionable. You don't find out until like 5 seconds before the thing.
He's out or in. Yeah.
He's like 5 seconds before the fucking thing goes off. To where it's like, man, is this for like gambling reasons? Why that shit happens? Why these injury reports? Like, there's no way they wait five. Like the guy's like gets fully loose. Does all this shit, and he's like, you know what? 5, 4, I can't play. It's like at that second, like, come on. So that's interesting. And then a player having inside knowledge to that is super duper an advantage. 100%. Three of the bets were multi-game parlay bets that included one Raptors game in which Porter bet that the Raptors would lose. All three bets lost. Okay. So he lost those bets. But regardless of that, you have inside information.
He lost, but he had it on good authority that they could have lost those games.
Yes.
He had prior knowledge that they were short, they were undermanned.
Yep.
Somebody of prominence was not going to play.
Yep. Insider trading, basically. He knows.
Maybe someone on the other team was questionable, and he's like, "No, they're playing." The opposing team probably knows who's playing.
Yes.
As much as they say like, "Oh no, we don't want to give the other team like an edge," like they still know.
Oh yeah. I 100% agree with that.
Because you know how they say that, like, "Oh, we don't want to give them an edge. We don't want them to know."
Yeah.
Such as in playing, like that's like I feel like that's a trope. It's like a cliche in sports, like, "Oh, we don't want to."
Don't show them you're hurt.
No, not that. Don't show them you're hurt. That we don't want to. Like in football, you hear that a lot in football. Like, we don't want them. We want them to game plan as if the player's gonna play, even though we know he's not gonna play. But I feel like they already know XYZ's not playing.
It's 100%. He's aware of these things. If it's not said out loud, it's said in whispers, and he still gets to hear it. Like 100%. These guys are they're privy to this shit.
Or he could go up to the player himself and be like, "Hey, man, what's good? How you feeling?"
Yeah.
He could be a friend of a player that knows if another player on the opposing team is going to play or not too.
Yeah, I do some imagine you did some grimy shit like he knows this motherfucker has a hurt foot. He's like, the dude standing. He's at the vending machine. He steps on his foot and shit. It's like, damn, trying to get Doritos, man. Ah, my foot.
I'm betting on him. I'm betting against him.
I got money line on the Sixers today.
That's crazy.
That's hilarious.
Hey, so how the fuck did he get caught? Like, what? How stupid is this guy?
Someone one of his friends or some shit, or whoever's accounts he was using for this, someone snitched. Gotta be, right? Well, no. It's the weird bets, right, that were on DraftKings. But in order to actually catch him, maybe he just snitched because he's like, "Fuck, you got me," so I'm just gonna spill everything I did. That's probably more likely the case.
Why would he do that? Why would he do that?
Because he could fight in court and then make his name extra big, and then now he's like a pariah at that point. Granted, being banned from the league you're kind of like a pariah, but at least like people will just forget about this guy, right? But if he goes to court and holds it up, it's gonna be in the sports news all like every day. The Jontay Porter trial against the NBA. Did he gamble? Did he not? Right? This isn't baseball where it just goes away after like a day. This is basketball, man. This shit'll stay here. And his brother's about to go on a fucking playoff run right now.
Basketball, this shit matters, bro.
Yeah, that's my guess. Is that they're like, yo, there's been some flags popping up from what's it called? DraftKings. There's been some flags coming up, and it's involving your name. And so just pulls a gun out. Tell us what you know. Adam Silver pulls a gun out personally. Tell us what you know. He fucking spills all of it. But yeah, he's definitely probably pressured and just said, admitted it. That's it. It's done. It's over. But all right, that's not even the part I wanted to like go over. But
Okay.
Let's let this run. Yeah.
And he doubtful for the game, or if he was placed on the injury report, it should be no harm, no foul, because that's information people can get.
Yo, RJ
right?
Barrett.
So the fact that
I was talking to him, and
someone got the information that he was hurt.
Yeah, to argue with his girlfriend.
I was talking to RJ Barrett. I heard his girl's cheating on him, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was me though. It was me. So I know he's having a bad game tonight. Let me DraftKings parlay this.
Creating drama and shit.
Let me hit the parlay.
He was scheming, bro.
Or he might underperform that game because he was injured. Is really kind of foul. But that's not the only thing that he did, man. They said that he pulled himself out of a couple of games. I think one game they said he got poked in the eye and he left the game, and it was I think it was like one or two games where he had little minor injuries that pulled him out of the game. And
he came into a game with an eye injury, and then there was a unusual amount of bets being placed on him.
Yeah.
And then he like, oh, I gotta leave the game. It's like, yeah, that looks sus. 100%.
They said that was suspicious as well.
Especially for a guy who's like a 10-day contract type of guy, like a G League.
He needs to play.
Yes,
he needs to play.
Yes, he's bouncing back between the G League and the NBA team. It's like he's trying to earn a spot. Yes, exactly. He does not want to go back to bus rides in the G League, bro.
You tell Isaiah Thomas he can't play, bro.
Fucking exactly. Like,
he was begging to get on the team. You think he's not gonna play?
Oh, my eyes a little sore. I think I need to go out, coach. Maybe he's thinking like, fuck, I ain't gonna. Maybe he's thinking like, fuck, I ain't gonna make it. Let me just get paid doing this. Or like, yo, my brother's stingy, bro. My brother's stingy. You don't give me no money, bro. I gotta make money somehow.
My brother's shiesty, bro. You know
right.
He told me to get it on my own. All right, I took his advice.
You told me to go play ping pong and shit. All right, here we go.
So
Michael Porter about
that whole
WNBA
thing
or something
was interesting to me because Shaq had a different opinion.
Right, here we go.
Right, they talked about
the reason I'm making this video.
This is
here
before,
it is.
like this clip I'm about to play you is before they came out with the news that he was going to be banned for life. They were just talking about it, but Shaq had this to say.
But has there ever been a point where you've played with the others where you're like, man, they actually really need money, and like if someone were to come along and offer something like this, you could see it?
No.
Because it seems like it's getting into the fabric of sports right now, and I really do get concerned about cheating and stuff like that.
True story.
Someone give him the
We're
red
somewhere.
bill. Please. Help
and
the guy out.
we're sitting at a bar, and the guy comes. And the guy's polite. He says, Shaq, you probably don't want to sit here. I said, why? He says, I'm one of the biggest bookies in the world, and people know me, and I don't want you next. I said, oh, cool, but You ain't got to worry about me. So we start talking, and we said, hey, you get players? He said, nah, you guys make too much money. I get referees. That's what he says. And then a couple of years after that, the whole thing broke. Yeah.
Tim Donaghy and the refs
He
game.
said that.
I have talked with coaches that have told me that
Sound
they
like
thought a
Shaq.
ref was reffing a game weird.
What's up?
Sound like Shaq snitched.
David.
I wonder I'm not getting no calls, man.
The most fouled player in NBA history, really. See, where's my call?
And then they went after the game and looked at the spread and realized, like, oh, wow, like a few of those loose ball fouls, the ones where it's like you and another guy
Rolling
you both
Curtis.
fly at the same time, and who they call
comments
the
on our
foul
videos.
on,
I used to,
that kind of stuff.
whenever I felt like the game wasn't being called right, I always used to go to the ref and be like, the spread is 6. All the time. The spread is 6.
Was that the actual spread? Or did you just make it?
No, I just always tell them, like, I know exactly what you're doing. The spread is 6. And then I always just tell them, I said, don't matter to me. I'm making $40 million this year. Do it. You got to do it again. Like, if you want the people that pay to watch you say it, don't really matter to me.
Does that make you sad? Did it make you annoyed as a player?
It does. Because my thing is, they say we're going to hack a Shaq in the paper. Oh, we just going to foul him. Okay, now when they foul me, just call it.
So this is interesting. So the question he asked Shaq is, can you see this? That, that players are doing this. Can you see this? That do you think the money is that that scarce, and it's players that are that desperate that they would do something like this? And Shaq was like, nah. And he was like, he told a story, true story. I talked to a bookie, and he asked him like, hey, y'all get players? And he was like, nah, we don't get players. Y'all make too much money. We get refs, right? And we know. That's a true story because
unless you can threaten an athlete,
that they threw out there to be
or Sonny Liston, and like you're down on you spent a lot of your money, you need to make some back, you got taxes to pay, you got shit like that. Like maybe you can get one of those guys in your pocket for sure. Like a Jontay Porter, and kind of hard to argue against it, but whatever. I'll let him go because he's going to bring up the point. He's kind of going to echo what Shaq's saying. He's using Shaq as like explaining his own reasoning, right? He's using Shaq's story there to explain his own reasoning. So let me let him finish that.
Get players, y'all make too much money. We get refs, right? And we know that's a true story because the famous ref that they threw out there to be the
Tim
sacrificial
Donaghy.
lamb was Donaghy, or however you say his name, Donaghy, right? In which I got his book somewhere over here. I got his book somewhere over here. It's a good read, but they got Donaghy, and he said it was more to me, but the NBA they won't tell them themselves like that. So hey, look, man, you take the rap for everybody. That you got to go down. So from the referee standpoint, they're dealing with people that might because I think Donaghy was giving the bookie that he was giving that information to like the mob or the mafia. So they play some big time bets, real big time bets, right?
Yep.
And it's probably millions riding on that. So that's one way that they might do it. The referees do whatever they do, cool. It wasn't that common for players to do it, is what Shaq is saying. So do I think Porter was that hard out for money? I mean, his brother just got a huge contract with Denver, right? And he's on a roster spot in Toronto, and he's playing good ball. It's just he hasn't had a breakout year or nothing like that. But he's a good ball player, not as good as his brother, but he's a good ball player. He's gonna make his money. I don't know if he was that desperate for money like that. I don't know. It don't make a lot of sense for me.
Okay.
I mean, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I've been on Underdog Fantasy, and I'm looking at names that I want to play plus or minus on, or do a parlay on.
Okay. Gonna go on. He's gonna talk about like some guys you can't even bet on, and like that's not the point. Point is the idea that I wanted to go over here was this idea that like like Shaq's story, like we go after the refs because in insinuating that refs are rigging the game for the sake of winning gambling bets over here. And I, honest to God, don't think that's the case. I think that is I think that is not the right way to look at it. As far as like what evidence shows, I, I don't think it's if they could
What he
be it
said,
could be a bunch gambling, but I don't know. Good.
even what Donahue said was like, no, it's
Yeah.
more about
Go ahead.
what the league wants.
Yes. Yes. If
So you could pick up on trends,
exactly.
and that's more valuable. That's almost as valuable as you knowing the outcome verbatim.
Check
No.
check this shit out. We were cracking jokes, but it's also true as far as Jontay Porter. Imagine he has inside information on this dude going through problems with his wife or his girlfriend, or this dude has a hurt toe and like he's not going to play that well tonight, or he might not. He might only play half the game or some shit like that. Or this guy's on a minutes restriction that no one knows about yet, or whatever the fuck. Right? He has inside information. That's what's going on. That as far as what I've heard is from Tim Donaghy. That like he just has inside information. Like he knows that the refs want that the league wants the refs to ref the game this way. Straight up. He knows they want the game to be refed in this way, which will favor a team or player which eventually ends up basically being the team, right? If your star player gets extra calls and all that shit. That is the narrative that Tim Donaghy was saying. And that's kind of the thing I wanted to go over in regards to this. Like, I don't look at it like it's refs, in a fucking parking garage somewhere, fucking like, you got the information? Yeah, I got it. Here you go. And they throw a fucking envelope at him. Here's the information about what's going. Like, here's the bets to place. Like that. Like they could be making bets, but it's not. It's not based on them going like, yeah, I'm gonna make extra calls against Shaq tonight because it'll help my gambling scheme. It's more of we know the league wants this shit done. We know the league wants more fouls called against this guy or for that guy, against this team or for that team. That's the inside information.
Yeah.
And here's the craziest part of this: if they don't follow it, like here's the thing, like if let's say David Stern passed down a memo to the referees, like, hey, Kobe's and Phil Jackson are complaining about this is the story that Tim Donaghy said. Phil Jackson and Kobe Bryant are complaining about the fouls not getting called, and Kobe's not getting like the foul calls.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? If Tim Donaghy goes in that game and refs against that, he loses his fucking job. He loses playoff jobs. And then he's gonna, if he keeps going, he's gonna work his way out of the regular. Then he's gonna be gone and replaced by someone else.
He's gonna get demoted. He's gonna get demoted from those big games.
Yes, which means the dude's actually doing his job. It isn't actually like, okay, I'm gonna rig the game this way in order to favor my gambling thing.
His job is a point spread, basically.
Yes, it got it. Yes, yes, actually. Like I think that's the misnomer that this guy I think is going off of, and he's using the little Shaq story there. Like, oh man, a lot of these guys like, I don't know. I'm not going to try to get too conspiratorial. I like Shaq, but at the same time, it's like, man, are you protecting the NBA?
Probably.
Like, cause come on, man. Like you played the fucking Sacramento Kings. You played those fools, right? Remember? That was your team at the other end of someone that a lot of people think was rigged. A rigged fucking series against the Sacramento Kings. You guys were the winners of that series.
Yeah. And let's be honest, who wanted to see the fucking Kings in the final?
Exactly. You're telling me that's not league mandated?
You wanted us to see a ragtag team as opposed to the at the time the premier player in the league?
Yes, on the premier team in one of the most premier cities in sports versus little old Sacramento. Like, come on, man. Like, come on, bro. Like, the league has its fucking agendas. We just watched that little baseball video about them changing the baseballs around for more offense. That plays a role in regards to this as well. Look at the way calls are made. These are league mandated. This guy complains about that. He complains about the traveling and the carrying and the lack of in the foul
Yeah.
calls in favor of the Lakers versus another team or whatever the fuck.
Right.
Are you telling me the refs are all gamblers? Like, what are you telling me?
Fantasy.
Yes. Like, are you telling me those are all gambling referees, or is that league mandated? It seems like league shit to me. And if someone wanted to go, like, tell a friend, like, "Yo, go play some bets this way," because we have been told this is what Tim Donaghy said. He said they sat us down, made us watch film, and say, like, "Look, that's a foul right there on that guy just Doug Christie. He just fouled Kobe Bryant right there. Why aren't you calling that? Call that." To where, like, Kobe's going to get 15 free throws the next game. You know it at that point. In fact, the only time I saw him go against the league to rig something, as far as Tim Donaghy and his stories, was the Allen Iverson thing. Where it's like, yo, he says something personal about one of our refs. Like, he threatened one of our referees. So now we're going to shit on him. And, like, there's no money involved in that. That was straight up like, fuck you because you went against the Shield, whatever the referee NBA version of the Shield. Now we got to go after you. It's fucking crazy, man. Like, don't forget that shit, man. You're talking about we do all this complaining about the way the league is now. It's like, well, what facilitates that? How does that happen? You talk about hand checking rules and defensive 3 seconds versus illegal defense. We talk about the carry and traveling. Who's doing that? It's not the mob in Las Vegas. It's David Stern. It's Adam Silver. It's the league. It's the owners. It's probably the players too. They're like, yo, can you just loosen up these rules a bit? Hey, man, I'm not getting fouls called for me. It's a little conglomerate. It's a little team, man. It's a little fraternity that happens here with our sports. It's obvious. So, yeah, like, it's. I don't think it'd be worth the risk for these referees to go to some bookie, go to bookies or some shit like that, and try to make bets to make money for themselves. I suspect the money, like, they'll be owned by these guys if they did that, right? First of all,
Yeah.
like, if you ever say anything, we're gonna expose this shit, or if you ever do anything, we're gonna expose it, and you're fucked. Your career's over. You're gonna go to jail. That is it for you. But, you know, if it's league mandated and someone catches wind, someone knows the league operations and all that shit, like, yeah. No one's going to look at, like, based on the narrative that he just said and that Shaq just said, no one's going to look at the league office guy who knows the new mandates and has hey, friend, go over there, go play some bets over here. No one's going to look at that fool.
No.
Because they think he has no impact on the game. He's not a ref and he's not a player, so he has no impact on the actual game of basketball. Like, he's working the league offices where these rules come from. Where does calling more fouls for or against this person come from? Rasheed Wallace and his technical fouls? You're telling me there's not something there with that? For sure that guy was, like, targeted in a way.
Yeah.
100%. So this isn't it. I get it. There could be some that are gambling, but I don't think it's gambling based on them rigging the games themselves. I think it's them just they know.
Doing their job. Doing their job.
Yes.
They're giving guidelines. They follow them.
100%. I think that's what's going on here. And yeah, that's the craziest part about it is that if they go against that, they lose their jobs.
Yeah.
That's the craziest part of all of this. If they stop rigging it, they lose their job. Good God, man. But yeah, like I said, I like Man Down Sport. Like, I like their content over there. But this one, I think he's just wrong on. The Jontay Porter thing, I think he's wrong on that too.
Yeah.
Like something looks uber sus with that situation. Just like it looks sus with Shohei Ohtani that no one cares about. Watch, someone's gonna be like, who's Shohei Ohtani? At the end of this, someone's gonna comment, who the fuck is Shohei Ohtani? Who the fuck is that? Yeah, it's only the biggest gambling fucking scandal in modern sports, but no one cares about it. No one knows.
And he's getting away with it, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it's over. I think it's basically over with for his part. It's just they're gonna prosecute this other motherfucker. He's gonna keep his mouth shut. He's gonna take the smallest sentence he can take and get paid once he gets out. Like that's my guess. That's maybe I'm being a conspiracy theorist, but that's my guess. He's gonna bite the bullet. He's gonna go to jail, in a nice comfortable jail. He's gonna do his time, probably not that long, and then he'll get paid once he gets out under the book somewhere.
Now, there's the whole thing too, where like they're saying he has to do restitution.
Oh, pay money back.
Yeah.
He might. Ohtani might just be like, I just want a written apology. That is all I want. Like, oh, you speak English now, motherfucker. It might be something stupid. Like Ohtani's team's gonna come out and say, like, we just want a verbal apology. Like this guy's gonna go on camera and cry. Like, oh, I'm so sorry for what I did. He was such a good friend.
They'll congratulate. He's such a what's the word called? Not gentleman. It's not gentleman. It's he's such a statesman.
You know what? I forgive him. Oh, Tani, forgive me. You deserve a Nobel Peace Prize. You were such a good friend and I took advantage of it. Oh, I'm so sorry.
They won't give him one because no one knows who he is.
Because I'm baseball Jesus, you are forgiven. Here's $20 million.
I don't get sins. That's so sad.
Where'd you learn English? All I knew was that and this explaining it. Family Guy joke. Alright. I mean, it is what it is. I suspect this will go nowhere too. Like, I mean, these guys talk about that stuff with the referees and the foul calls and the league mandates and the rule changes and the boost offense. These guys know all about that. And how did you not see this?
They don't put it together.
You know, man. He said he read Tim Donaghy's book. How did you not? I'm pretty sure Tim Donaghy's been like saying that, unless he's lying.
Oh, did he say he read it? I thought he just said he owned it. I didn't think he said he read it.
I think he said he might have said he read it. Either way, it's like you just watch. You don't even need to like just watch the interviews to find out like what he's like. I don't even think he went to jail for rigging games. I don't think he went to jail for rigging games. I think it was for something else, right? Just for gambling on it.
Racketeering or something.
Something, man. But all right, that's it for this video. Yeah, it is what it is, man. Enjoy it.